Welcome to What the Wrestling, the podcast where you break down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is.
Tiger uppercut.
We back, baby.
Dom DeMarco.
And as you know, the streaming dates have changed. Shout out to everybody liking my stuff. But we are back with another AEW and Smackdown review. I know. Listen.
Nope.
I'm a little late, but it's okay. You will forgive me and it will be okay. And what we're going to do is we're not going to waste any more time. Let us get into the show. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. Once again, I am your host, RJD. Follow What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Also follow me, RJD, on the Twitter, aka X, RJ699. I'm having some green screen dilemmas, so we're gonna get that fixed and rounded up. As many of you well know, I am studying really hard for a test. So I have to switch some things up and make sure stuff gets right. Man, we got a lot going on. We're getting the health right. We're getting the wealth right. You know, health is wealth first and foremost. But we're getting the health right. We're getting the wealth right. We're getting everything right up here. We're getting it all done up here. So we ain't going to waste any more time. And we're going to make sure stuff is on and popping. And listen, I am grateful for everybody hitting the like button. Shout out to everybody liking my stuff. Got some new subs. Everybody's digging the views. And we're going to keep the ball rolling. I am definitely working on getting 2 videos a week out for you guys. At least the Monday, 3 videos. I mean, the Monday, the Dynamite, and the Smackdown and news at the end of the week. So I think that's going to be the schedule. And I'm going to fit it in where I get it in. Because I miss y'all. Y'all miss me. So we're going to make sure we get it done. All right. So other than that, no updates to the channel. And we're going to start off with Smacketh of the Down. So Smackdown, as I run into this, we're going to run through this real quick. Smackdown was smooth. Not too bad. We did have some implications. We had some things moving forward. some Saturday night main event stuff happening, moving forward. So I ain't mad at it. But you know who's back? The Scottish psychopath is back, Drew McIntyre. And he quickly got prompted and laid out by an RKO. So that was hilarious. So let's talk about what big happened on this show. So we had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is back, King of the Ring. Quickly cut off by Randy. Randy said, listen, it is great that you did not hesitate, because if it was you, I hesitated and I shouldn't, and I would have won, and that's all good and dandy. But out comes Drew McIntyre saying that they are two betas, but the alpha man is back. And I was like, nope. Sounds cringe when you say it like that, but because anybody who's an alpha, nobody's got to tell you. But anyway, moving forward, Drew McIntyre was talking junk, and he says he hopes he wins the title because he wants to take the title from him. Even though Cody says he's going to win that title from Cena, Drew wants to take it from him, and then he promptly gets hit with an RKO.
You stupid.
And yeah, that was all she wrote. So he got mad. He demanded a match with Randy Orton, and it will take place at Saturday night's main event. So I'm not mad at that. Good for him. But he comes back. Well, first of all, good to see him back. We don't want to see people injured out here. Good to see Drew doing what he does best. But him coming back, fighting Randy Orton, Saturday night's main event, I think these two got good chemistry. It's going to be smooth. And I'm looking forward to it. So it was all right. I mean, not too bad. It was cool. Cool. Nothing wrong there. All right. So Cody Rhodes promised Randy that he'd beat John Cena at SummerSlam. So I am looking forward to seeing if he actually wins at SummerSlam or he doesn't. I'm all for a double turn. I ain't going to lie. Stop. I'm all for a double turn, man. Let Cena go back to the babyface side and let Cody kick him in the cojones to win. Kick him right in the balls. And everybody's going to boo Cody. Well, they might not boo Cody because half the crowd doesn't like Cena anyway. But if they could pull this double turn off right, it'll be big business. Big business. So we'll see. We'll see how they get that done. So, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis booked Orton and McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. Excuse me. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair beat Alba Fire and Piper Niven and B-Fab and Michin after Twisted Bliss on Fire. With the win, Bliss and Flair have qualified for the fatal 4-way WWE Tag Team Women's title match at Evolution. And unfortunately, they need to get rid of the tag team titles or put them across all brands. But are they going to do it? Nope. So we will continue to have these meaningless titles on here because they didn't make us care enough about them. So that's an L. The Wyatt Six beat Berto, Chris Sabian, Johnny Gargano, and Montez Ford because the general manager said, all y'all guys got to pick a guy, have him go against Wyatt Six. Excuse me, my throat's like sitting here trying to drink water. My throat was like clamming up. So Rowan hit Sabian with the iron claw, get him out of here. And like I said, the general manager said, all you guys have to take one guy from all your teams to fight the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six looking like they're moving closer to the tag team titles. Now, I'm not mad at the Wyatt Six. I know one guy was hurt, so they kept them off TV. They could have worked around that. It's good to see them back. It's good to see them winning. We need to see them winning because that's how they messed up with Bray Wyatt. He just kept losing when he needed to win. Rest in peace. But as long as they keep them winning, we'll be all right. Trish Stratus accepted Tiffany Stratton's challenge. So that is going to be happening very soon. And she also talked about fighting Jade Cargill, who is the queen of the ring. Looking forward to that. Andrade and Rey Fenix beat Fraxium in a fun match. And we had Damian Priest and Aleister Black getting into a heated exchange with a confirmation that Black and Ron Killings would be facing off next week. So with this Ron Killings thing, with this R-Truth thing, it needs to get some legs. He was out. They brought him back. Now we need to get him in something meaningful. I would have had whatever he did involve Cena, but I guess they're trying to go a different route with that. But maybe they reconcile later on and Cena apologizes to Ron. I don't know. We'll see. It's up to the writers to figure that out. But Damian Priest slowly settling in the mid-card, fighting with Alistair. I think Alistair needs a big win, and he needs to get catapulted up. So when these two do fight, I think maybe they have a best of 3. I think Alistair Black needs that because he's coming from outside looking in. He needs a win badly against a big name, and Damian Priest is a big name. All rise for the rock star. So he needs a win. So when they do fight, I think Black got to win that first match. Just like when they elevated Swerve and he hung the Hangman. Remember that? And that catapulted Swerve into superstar status. We need that same thing. A big feud for Aleister Black. Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso beat Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo after Fatu hit the moonsault on Sikoa. At the start of the show, Nick Aldis told Fatu he had to find a tag team partner. Fatu tried to beat up on him, but they did not let that happen. Jimmy Uso stepped in and said, "Fam, I'll help you. I got your back."
You stupid.
So after that, Solo later introduced Tala Tonga, formerly Hikuleo, as the newest member of the Bloodline. And after the loss, Tala Tonga and Tonga Loa, and we also got Tama Tonga, the bad guy. He should be coming back soon. So shout out to him. Hopefully, I think he's hurt. Hopefully he comes back soon. That's a hopefully. But they're going to have a lot of members when he comes back. Maybe they'll make a push to get all the gold. I don't know. We'll see. But Tonga Loa laid out Jimmy and Fatu. And let's see what happens. Bloodline got a lot of members. And like I said, they can keep this Bloodline thing going forever. So Smackdown was rather pedestrian this week. Nothing too crazy. It was all right. Evolution looks like it's shaping up. So I'm going to be doing the Evolution review soon because that looks like that's shaping up. I just hope they put on a good show. That's all I want to see. All I want to see from Evolution is a good show. I think the ladies are going to kill it. The first Evolution was great. I think this Evolution would be great. And we got to get things off and running. So I'm looking forward to Evolution 2. I'm not even going to lie. Looking forward to it. So let's move on over to AEW.
Tiger uppercut. Finish him.
AEW, everybody. So AEW is got All In 10 days. Well, 7 days now. All In coming up real soon. And I'm not going to say it's not hot, but it's not hot. Maybe lukewarm. Maybe it's lukewarm. But I'm liking what they're doing here. We have some implications coming up with Swerve and Ospreay. The more Hangman starts talking, the more I think he's going to lose, which sucks. Because that means the only person left is maybe Darby Allin. Fresh off of his conquest of Mount Everest. But I hope they don't do that, man. I hope they don't do that. Give it to Hangman. The Death Rider stuff needs to stop. Let Hangman do what he does. And then if you want Darby to win, let Darby build it back up to beat Hangman. I think Darby Allin should be world champion. I don't want to have to wait another freaking 6 months for him to win it. I mean, goddamn, I think All In is the perfect place. So Hangman comes out. He talks his junk, saying he's got to beat Mox, and he wants a death match. Moxley comes out. Moxley says no. Marina Shafir gets in there, and they start beating up on Hangman. But then they leave. The Ops come out. Shafir jumps in, and the Ops come out. They pretty much separate Shafir from the Death Riders, and the whole thing was built around, listen, Moxley said, you don't want a death match. You don't have what it takes. You don't want a death match. You're not going to beat me in a death match, and you don't want that. You know you don't want that. And I don't want that for you because you're going to lose. So they went back and forth, and after the little shut the F up from the crowd, shout out to the crowd.
Stop it.
You sick bastards. Stop it. Stop. Love the crowd. Love the AEW crowd, too. It's just different. So after that, Marina Shafir tried to go in and sneak attack him. She fell backwards. She was like, no, please no. And Hangman said, listen, Mox, in case you didn't think I had what it takes. And he gave her the buckshot lariat and whacked her right across. It's like he whacked her across the jaw. And yeah, then they agreed. Then they agreed to the death match. So a death match it shall be. That's going to be crazy. All I will say is to both participants, please don't die. We don't want anyone to die in the death match. After Marina Shafir took the buckshot lariat. So, and I ain't gonna lie, does that make me sick too? That I was like, just hit her, just rag over the head with the buckshot. I was like, give it to her. Get your shit in. I don't know. Maybe that makes me bad. I don't know. But commentary hypes up what went down between Timeless Tony Storm and talking about the upcoming Superman film. Marina Shirakawa makes an entrance with Mercedes Moné. Before that, Tony Storm came out for the opening contest, and Mercedes Moné went up against Mina Shirakawa in a good match. But at the end of the day, Mercedes Moné gets the win. So how did she do it? We'll fast forward to the end. Mercedes counters out of a glamour driver, but Mina breaks free of the Moné maker, lands some kicks ahead on her spinning back fist. Glorious driver connects, but Mercedes narrowly gets the shoulder up before the 3. The fans are not happy about that. Mina hits a knee, but only gets a 1 count. Mercedes counters with a lung blower, which looked like it sucked, but didn't capitalize on the match. She crawls over for a cover, but only gets a 2 count. The exchange holds, but Mercedes rolled up Mina for a tight 3 count and retains the belt. So Moné beats up Mina some more to celebrate before escaping the ring. After Tony Storm goes after her, she grabs the champagne from ringside, spilling it on Luther before retreating up the ramp, telling Tony her time is up and my time is now. So there's that. So I ain't mad at it. Now, we had the Young Bucks coming home, and they had this little skit where they went back to their hometown or whatever, from Rancho Cucamonga, Cali, or something like that. And no hometown heroes welcome for them. Now, MJF came off for a fatal 4-way with AR Fox, Anthony Bowens, and Brody King. And this was very good, but was there ever... First of all, Brody King looked really good in this match, as he always does. But this match was great. Everybody had their time to shine. But in the end, let's pick it up at the end. Fox manages to fight out of a near pinfall, hits a 450 splash on King, but Brody gets a shoulder up. Bowens gets taken out by MJF, who yells, "Brody sucks," before hitting him with the heat seeker. But King blocks it and puts MJF in a sleeper when he's dangling there, and then drops him, which is pretty cool. Bowens catches Brody King off guard, gets the near fall in the process. MJF manages to take advantage of the chaos that comes after. And while everybody is laid out, he hits the salt of the earth on AR Fox, who eats the pin. MJF gets the win. And that was cut short by Mark Briscoe, who calls out MJF for having a talkie talk next week. And this gets a chant from the crowd as Jet Speed makes their way out to confront the Hurt Syndicate, only for Benjamin and Lashley to whoop their holy asses while MVP and MJS watch from ringside. They go back after the pair, and Lashley landing a Dominator on Bayley and add the punctuation mark with the big knee by Shelton Benjamin. The Hurt Syndicate regroup on the ramp, but Knight grabs the mic and says, "Listen, we are still alive, and if they want to keep those titles, they're going to have to kill Jet Speed. He runs down in the pair, Kevin and Shelton. He runs down on them before challenging them for a match on Collision, and the Hurt Syndicate's music plays, and we went to a commercial break. Okay, let's stop it here. I didn't really like this because Jet Speed looks stupid. They got the asses kicked, and I don't foresee them beating the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate are like this magical group of a bunch of brothers who just beat the hell out of people. And all of their matches, they take most of their matches, they beat the holy shit out of everybody. And the crowd, even though they're supposed to be bad guys, the crowd likes them because we like to see our drunk uncles beat people up. So I don't want to cheer for Jet Speed, and I like Jet Speed, but they're gonna get their asses kicked. I don't know. There's no one built up enough to beat this team right now. It's just nobody at all. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I have no idea, but this ain't it. This ain't it. So we had Konosuke Takeshita and the Young Bucks versus Bandito, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. This was another good match, and these guys look great. This was another good match, but in the end, Konosuke Takeshita hits Raging Fire on Kyle O'Reilly for the win, and that was after he got hit with the EVP trigger. The celebration was cut short because Will Ospreay and Swerve, who still want the Bucks to put their EVP titles on the line, came out and talked their junk. And at the end, Ospreay said, listen, if we lose, I got something. We're going to have some skin in the game. Me or Swerve can't challenge for the title for a year.
You stupid.
Nope.
Lord have mercy, we know they're going to lose. They will not be champions for a year. And you know what this is going to start? This is going to start a feud between Swerve and Ospreay, and they're going to kill each other because Swerve is going to be pissed. Swerve is going to be mad. I don't foresee them winning this match. For 1 year, it's not like, see, if they would have said, oh, we can't challenge for the AEW title forever, I'd have been like, all right, we know Swerve is winning with Ospreay. But they said we can't challenge for a year. Shoot, maybe they go after the tag team titles. I don't know. That'll be good if we could find a way to get them over there and make it make sense. Maybe they go after the tag team titles, but I don't see them winning. I just see there's going to be some interference. There's going to be some shenanigans, but they ain't winning shit. So I don't see it. So we'll see what happens with that. So Ospreay and Strickland are having some words with each other where LFI makes their entrance, or maybe not bother as they rush Ospreay and Swerve to the ring to get things underway. So we got Will Ospreay and Swerve versus the Beast Mortos and Dralistico.
Nope.
You stupid.
Oh my God.
The Beast Mortos again, huh? So who won this match?
Stop it. Get some help.
We know who won this match. Well, Ospreay and Swerve Strickland get the win. And that was all she wrote with that. Then we had Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. So we had some holy shit chants before everything breaks down. And at the end of the day, I always look at Kota Ibushi because the Kota Ibushi of 5 to 10 years ago, absolute monster. But like we all know, he went through some challenges. He got hurt. There was a lot that happened. What I will say is, even though he's a little bit older, he looks like he is in phenomenal shape. Because even the last time we saw him on TV, he didn't look like he was in that good of shape. I mean, obviously he's in shape. He's called Ibushi, but he was taking his time. He wasn't, he just wasn't wrestling like he used to. But everybody's got to change their swag, man. Guys get older. People got to change their style, slow it up, explode when they need to explode. Will Ospreay, if you know Will Ospreay from 10 years ago, when he bulked up, went to heavyweight, he had to change his style. He was doing crazy shit. He almost killed himself a couple of times. And now he's changed it. He exposed when he has to. Everybody's got to change their style as they get older, which is awesome. But this was a good match to me. Let's pick it up towards the end. Kota Ibushi. And I like the spot they did where Kota Ibushi's just sitting there and he's like, and then he starts palm fisting Okada. Like he starts beating the shit out of him. That happened. Kota Ibushi, when he gets serious and he just, it's a scary brother right there. He beat the shit out of you. And he's legit. He can really fight. So Kota Ibushi gets his legs in, back on his feet. Okada caught as a fury of offense. The ref intervenes. And the Rainmaker Lariat is avoided, allowing Ibushi to take Okada down with a lariat of his own. He hits him with the Rainmaker, and that was great. Ibushi goes up top, but it's intercepted by Okada, who lands a German suplex before going for a Rainmaker again, only to be dropped with the roundhouse kick by Ibushi. He set up Okada on the turnbuckle, landing an avalanche tiger driver for the pin, but a 2 count, not the win. Okada kicks out. Okada clutches Ibushi for his near fall. Goes for Ibushi once more. Okada blocks Ibushi off the top rope, landing a lariat and a drop kick, and finally picks him back up for a Rainmaker for the win. Callis joins Okada in the ring as they celebrate. They hype up the Unified Championship match at All in Texas. Rocky Romero, Lance Archer get into the ring looking to beat down on Ibushi. Kenny comes out for the save. Big pop for Omega as always. Runs in with the chair, forcing the family out of the ring, but Trent Beretta tries to sneak into the ring with a steel bar, but is cut off by Ibushi. And the Golden Lovers hug as they hold off the Don Callis family, as Don Callis family is holding back Okada, who shouts at them as AEW Dynamite number 300 comes to an end. A lot can be said about this, but what I will say is that unfortunately AEW is not in the best of places. They are not as hot as they were even a year ago. Viewership is down, attendance is down, everything is down. So we're not going to sit up here and say, oh, they're doing well. All In, the first one, the first All In, 70,000, 80,000 people, whatever the damn number was. The second one, 50,000. The third one, they might not even get 30,000 in that damn stadium. I wouldn't even run the stadium if you can't even get it back to 50. It's continuously going down every year. The product is not hot. Tony Khan is saying everything's fine. The network loves everything. Now listen, I like AEW, and they have their good weeks and bad weeks like everybody else. WWE has its good weeks and bad weeks like everybody else. But that viewership and that attendance is very telling, because you can't sit up here and say this is not the same company that had CM Punk, a rumor CM Punk might come back, and they booked a 22,000 seat venue in Chicago, and consistently were running venues 10,000 people, 8,000, 13,000, 10,000, 12,000. Now they're running 3,000, 5,000, 1,500, 2,500 in the venue. Now they're running smaller venues because they can't fill up the bigger ones. This is a problem. This is not good. So they got to figure that out. They have to figure that out. And they got to get that viewership back, man. They have to. They have to. And I love AEW, but we're not going to sit up here and say everything is okay. Everything is down. When business is down, you're not okay. So with that being said, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Everybody, please be safe. Take care. Enjoy the summer. It's hot. Go get in the pool. Go to the beach. Do what you got to do. And watch me. And hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I am out. Everybody, I'll holler at you. Hopefully you enjoyed your 4th of July. I'm gone. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.